Dragon Slayers Academy. 6-7. Dragon Slayers Academy. Oh my gosh. I literally just got lipstick on this white cover. Dragon Slayers Academy. What's up, guys? My name is Natalie, and welcome to my Nook of Novels. In today's video, I'm going to be spinning my wheel and choosing my December TBR. Before I get into this month's TBR, I do want to just talk about some changes I have made to my general filming schedule. So as you guys have probably noticed, I haven't really been posting many videos recently at all. And that is just because I don't really have much time to be posting these videos every single week anymore. I just have so much homework. I have a job. I have to clean my house. Like, I just have so many other things that I have to prioritize over these videos. It's just one more thing that kind of stresses me out every single week. I always end up getting it posted late, and then I start being behind in the next week with my homework and everything else, and it's just kind of this endless cycle that makes things really, really difficult, increasingly so as time moves forward. So for that reason, and also just because of the fact that I haven't really been excited about many of the videos that I have scheduled coming up. There's obviously some things that I'm excited for and that I am still planning on posting at some point, but for the most part, I just, in the near future, I'm only going to be making these monthly TBR videos and posting once a month, because these are the videos that make me the most excited about filming and editing them. I really enjoy like just having a monthly TBR and picking it using my wheel. It's just something that brings me a lot of joy, and I really do enjoy making these videos for you guys. And it's not that I don't obviously enjoy making all the other videos, because I do, but it's just a lot to do and I can only have time for so many things all at once. So that being said, I also am planning to make an end of year wrap up video as well, because I do have a really good idea for that video, and it's kind of something that I've been working on for a couple months now, kind of just planning out certain things for every single book that I read, if that makes sense. And so just like, not to spoil what that video is going to be or anything, but it is a like abnormal end of year wrap up kind of thing. Like, I do have a specific kind of idea for it, and I am still really excited to make that video. So that is one that's definitely for sure going to be coming up, as well as just the secret video that I spent months working on. I really I just put so much time and effort into that, and I do feel like it's a really good like video idea that I feel like is going to be very interesting to watch, and I just don't want to scrap all of that effort. I really do want to edit that and get it posted. I just don't know when, so it's just really going to depend on my work schedule during the holidays, because I really do want to also like pick up as many shifts as I can in the coming month, because we're going to be moving soon and I could just use the extra money. So I just want to be working as much as I can during that time when I have off of school. So it's really just going to depend on how things work out, I guess, across the next month, on whether or not that video is going to be up anytime soon. If it's not, then maybe I'll make it during spring break or even during the summertime, really far in the future. I really don't know, but it just depends like when the next time I'm really just going to have a chance to make that is really just what we're waiting to see. So I'm not giving up on it. It's still going to be coming, but just don't like have any high hopes for it to be anytime soon, is all that I'm saying. That being said, this month's TBR specifically is going to be a little bit different, because I really wanted to end the year on a good note. I wanted to end my wheel of TBRs feeling accomplished with the content of my reading throughout the year. So I wanted to be productive with this wheel of TBR, if you will. And so for that reason, I am going to be doing a sequels only TBR for the month of December. So how this is going to work is I have made some new prompts, and these aren't prompts, these are literally just book series is what I have in here. So this stack is literally just all of the series that I want to continue with. And it's excluding a couple like things that I'm gonna have to start over with, or things that I'm like waiting for a specific time to read, or things I'm reading to my boyfriend right now. That's not really something I can put too much of like a time crunch on, just because we don't always like have that much time to read together. So those are just gonna be like dependent on when we get a chance to read those. So I'm not really like stressing too much about those specifically. It's just all the other series that are excluding like those categories. So this obviously is a very large looking stack. Now, I don't just have all of those series in here once. So what I did is, for the number of books that I have left in a series, that's how many prompts I put back in here. So for example, I have 13 books left in the Magic Treehouse series. So I have Magic Treehouse in the stack 13 times. So this is like a proportional representation of the rest of the series I have to read. So literally every single book represents one prompt within the stack. That being said, most of the series that I am currently reading, I don't have that many books left. So obviously Magic Treehouse, I have a lot left, and Dragon Slayers Academy, I have a lot left of those as well. And those are the only really like high numbers that I have in here. So statistically speaking, I might end up with multiple of either one of those. And if that were the case, this would be a really, really easy TBR for the month of December. And then I would have plenty of time to read whatever other sequels that I so choose. But I also have obviously some chunkier things in here as well. So this could really go a number of ways. Also, technically, the base number of spins that I'm going to do for this video is 5, but a lot of the books in here are things that I am definitely going to be listening to on audio as opposed to physically reading. And so I just feel like I can accomplish so much more than, for example, 2 physical books and 3 audiobooks if that's what the wheel ends up choosing for me. So I'm essentially just going to keep spinning until either I get 5 physical books and whatever number of audiobooks that I end up with, or it might be more than 5. You know, if I'm spinning like only Magic Treehouse, obviously I can read more than 5 Magic Treehouse books in a month, then I might just keep spinning until I feel like I have a good number of things that I am confident that I can accomplish. I do have one other thing in this stack too, aside from all the sequels: Mistletoe Wishes. Now that is this book right here. This isn't anything I'm like particularly excited about or anything, but it is the one Christmas book that I own on my TBR, so I thought it would be a good idea just to go ahead and try to read it during the month of December because it's Christmassy. I just thought that that would be fun. So I have this in the stack as well, just that it has a chance of coming up. And if it doesn't, I'll just do my best to read it during the month of December anyway. But this is literally just something I randomly got for free from a book signing. So it's not anything, again, that I'm super excited about, but it's here. The one set of sequels that I really, really, really am hoping that does come up on this wheel, and that if it doesn't, I'm really hoping that I will have a chance to get to these anyway, is the rest of the Enemy series by Charlie Higson, which is The Hunted and the End. This is just one that I like just absolutely need to read these. It's literally so insane that I've spent so many years on this series and just still haven't finished with it. I have no aversion to reading these. Like, there's literally nothing stopping me from reading them. I'm genuinely excited to see what happens next, but just for some reason, I just haven't. I don't know why. I guess just the wheel hasn't necessarily spun things that make it easy for me to choose these books. It's so embarrassing. Like, I just need to read these, and that's going to happen in the month of December regardless. No matter what, I will finish these before the end of the year. I literally don't care if I have to completely just not read anything else. I just need to read these above all else. So that being said, I mean, there's 2 of these in the stacks, so they have just as much of a chance of coming up as a lot of the other things do, but I really need to read them is the point here. Before we jump to the wheel, I'll also go ahead and just talk about my TBR from the month of November. So I wasn't extremely successful with it. I read, obviously, the required reading that I've had to read for school, and aside from that, I don't even think I touched any of the other books. I literally just finished the Magic Treehouse book that I've been reading all month because I kind of fallen into a reading slump. I kind of thought I would, just with all of the required reading and not really having time to like sit and physically read. And for that reason, just to kind of try and pull myself out of the reading slump, I decided to, instead of choosing books off my monthly TBR, I randomly picked up You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Quickie Emezi, and that's my current read right now because that's just the book that I thought seemed the most interesting and that would possibly pull me out of my reading slump, and I do think it did. I think it has worked wonders for me in that department, so I'm enjoying it. It's not amazing by any means. It's definitely like not as good as I was hoping it would be or expecting it to be, but it is good. It is enjoyable, which is just, that's kind of where the bar is at right now. So that being said, I don't think that I have anything else that I really need to tell you guys before we go ahead and jump to the wheel and start spinning. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and I'll have to put the prompts on the wheel, but let's go ahead and head to the wheel so that we can begin our December Wheel of TBR. So I'm not going to be doing this in any like rhyme or reason. I've already kind of mixed these prompts up as much as I could before like putting them into the stacks. I kind of like separated the series so that I don't have like a whole clump of Magic Treehouse just all together in the middle of the stack. But yeah, I'm just going to randomly pull out one at a time and place them on the wheel. They both die at the end. Cat and Mouse Duet. Also, I have these listed out as like the series name. So some of them, it might be like, what is that? But it's something obvious. So like Cat and Mouse Duet, this is just like the Haunting Adeline duology. But the series name is just like something random for some reason. Dragon Slayers Academy. Lore Olympus. Dragon Slayers Academy. Saga, The Maze Runner. I'm getting a surprising amount of like non-Magic Treehouse and Dragon Slayers Academy prompts. I was really worried that like half the wheel would be Magic Treehouse and the other half would be Dragon Slayers Academy. So this is going surprisingly well. 6 Crimson Cranes, Magnolia Parks, The Faithful and the Fallen, Dragon Slayers Academy, and lastly we have The Band. This one is the Kings of the Wild series. So we have not a single Magic Treehouse book on this wheel so far, which is so surprising. But I feel like this is a really good selection of things. And I'm very excited to see what we end up spinning. So I'm not going to do the whole, like, if it lands on the same space twice in a row, I'll have to add a book. Just because the number that we spin is really just going to be dependent on, like, as I go, what I feel I can possibly read in a month. So, like, the minimum is going to be 5 spins. But, you know, if I'm like, okay, I can definitely read more than these specific books, then I'll just keep spinning. Because again, like, I really just want to accomplish as much as I can in December, so I'm gonna be trying to read as much as I can, if that makes sense. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with spin number 1. So it's not able to land on Dragon Slayers Academy, so that is going to be our first book for this TBR. Now, those ones are very, very short. They're very fun and easy, and I have a lot of fun with those. So it's a very long series, as, you know, I've mentioned. But book number 6 will be our next book that we're going to read. So, yeah, that's the first book on the TBR. I don't know what it's called, but I'll have it right here. We're going to switch out the prompt for another Dragon Slayers Academy. I feel silly, like, taking this one off just to put the same one back on. Moving on to spin number 2. Kind of looks like it's right in the middle. Just principally, if I really cannot tell, I always go with the left one, but it kind of does look like it's slightly on this one anyway. So I'm just gonna go with They Both Die at the End, which this is a really exciting one. This is honestly a series that I really forget about a lot of the time, but now that I'm like seeing it, I'm really excited to actually read this one. So that book is the first to die at the end. So I read just the original They Both Die at the End. This one is the prequel, and then there's another book out now, which is a sequel, I'm pretty sure, which is called The Survivor Wants to Die at the End. Now this one, I'm gonna see if it's pretty underneath. Ooh, Death Cast. Oh my gosh, I literally just got lipstick on this white cover. But it also has pretty end papers as well. We love a pretty book. Oh my god, I literally can't believe I just did that. It's okay, it's like barely noticeable now anyway. The back is also so pretty, I love that. I mean, I'm excited. It's just a YA gay romance is what the first book is. I'm assuming this one is also gay. It looks like it is. And I'm excited. I love a very like emotional, one of those books that just like makes your heart hurt, you know? I love that kind of thing. I had a lot of fun with the first book, so I'm really, really excited to be adding this one to my December TBR. We're switching out that prompt for Children of Orisha. So this is the Children of Blood and Bone series. This is one that I will be listening to on audio, as well as The Maze Runner is one that I would listen to on audio, 6 Crimson Cranes, the sequel to that, Magnolia Parks would be an audio one, and then this. So I've read the first 2. So I've read Children of Blood and Bone and Children of Virtue and Vengeance. And then I just have the 3rd book left, which is Children of Anguish and Anarchy. Spin number 3. Okay, so we've landed on yet another Dragon Slayers Academy book. So this one will be number 7. Again, I have no idea what this book is, what the title is, but it's very short, very fun, very exciting. So switching out the prompt for Graves Glen. Okay, so this is like the X-Hex trilogy. And the 3rd book of this is Christmas themed. So it would be really cool and awesome if we landed on this one during this DVR video. And that's another one that I would listen to on audio. Spin number 4. Okay, this one's really interesting. The Faithful and the Fallen. The first book in the series is Malice, but the one that I'm currently on right now is Ruin by John Gwynne. And it's probably a really good thing that this one came up because I have been like putting off continuing with this. I'm 24 chapters in, 190 pages, so I've made a good chunk of progress in this. But just where I've been kind of in a reading slump, I haven't really been touching this, but I definitely do need to jump back into this as soon as I possibly can and just keep trucking along and continuing. So this is the fourth book on our December TBR. It does worry me a little bit that I haven't landed on a single audiobook yet, but I'm sure we will. I'm sure there's plenty of those to come, I'm hoping. But we are going to switch out The Faithful and the Fallen for another Dragon Slayers Academy book. Spin number 5. And this is not going to be the last spin just because we have 2 Dragon Slayers Academy on the TBR, which are very small. So I'm going to do at least 6 spins, but we'll see how the next couple go before I decide if we're going to keep doing more. So spin number 5. Okay, so this is very good news. Graves Glen. So I've read the X-Hex and the Kiss Curse. The third book is called The Christmas Witch or something like that. I think it's called The Christmas Witch. I don't know. It's something Christmassy, but I'll have it on the screen right here. It's by Aaron Sterling. And yeah, I mean, it's just a little witchy romance series. It's always very atmospheric. So the books themselves aren't great. Like, they're not bad at all. I would say everything else in the book is very, like, 3 stars in terms of plot, characters, like it's kind of whatever, but the atmosphere is 5 stars. The first 2 books are so like Halloweenish. They just really get you like immersed in the vibes. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited to read something that is like so extremely Christmassy during Christmas because I love Christmas time. It's literally my favorite thing ever. It's just Christmas time, Christmas vibes. It's great. So the Christmas Witch or whatever it's called will be going on my December TBR. We're going to switch out the prompt for another Dragon Slayers Academy, and we are going to move on to spin number 6. I was really worried this would happen, but for some reason I just expected it to be with Magic Treehouse instead of Dragon Slayers Academy, but here we are. So this will be book number 8. I thought 9 for some reason, but I think 6 and 7 are what we've put on the TBR so far. Unless I forgot one. I don't think I have though. Yeah, if this is spin number 6, then it would be book number 8. Books 6, 7, and 8, 6, 7 are now gonna be on my December TBR. So again, I don't know what specifically this book is titled, but here it is, and I will be reading it in December. I'm gonna switch out the prompt and keep spinning because it's 2 real books, an audiobook, and 3 Dragon Slayers Academy, so I feel like I can keep going for at least another real book or 2. I might just stop whenever I get the next real book, but we'll see. Another Dragon Slayers Academy. I'm not even gonna replace it because that just feels stupid. Spin number 7 out of a billion, Dragon Slayers Academy. Okay, Children of Erasure. So this one is Children of Anguish and Anarchy, like I mentioned before. I will be listening to the audiobook of this one. This is more of a newer release, I think. It's been forever since the first book and the second book came out. The first book I loved when I first read it. I gave it 5 stars. I think 4.5, something like that. It was very, very good, very entertaining. It was great with the whole like enemies to lovers thing. And then I feel like the second book I remember being very underwhelming compared to the first one. Whenever I was listening to the audiobook, like rereading the first 2 recently, I literally did not remember a single thing that happened in the second book as I was listening to it again. So it's definitely a good thing that I reread that before going into the third book. But yeah, I mean, I don't have like insanely high hopes or anything. It's kind of just one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'll listen to it. I'll probably be a little invested and then I'll move on with my life. So that being said, Children of Anguish and Anarchy is going to be the 7th book on my TBR. That puts us at 2 audiobooks now and 3 Dragon Slayers Academy and 2 other regular books. So that being said, I'm just gonna keep spinning because I feel like I can read at least 3 or 4 audiobooks in a month if I'm really pushing it. Definitely 3, maybe 4. So that's what I'm gonna just set my limit to, I guess, is 4 audiobooks. And we're going to switch out this prompt for Magic Treehouse. Spin number 8. So Magnolia Parks. This is, I want to say Magnolia Parks A Long Way Home is what the third book in the series is called. So the first one follows Magnolia Parks and the second one follows Daisy Hates. They're both dual perspective. So it's Magnolia and BJ in the first book and then Daisy and Christian in the second. And so I'm sure this third book goes back to Magnolia's perspective. And I'm really intrigued to see where things are going to go from here because Magnolia and Daisy kind of both left off in a terrible state. That's not a spoiler or anything. I just really don't know where they're going to go with their lives from this point forward. So I'm very intrigued to kind of see how things go for them. So yeah, that being said, that's another audiobook. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and switch the book out for the next sequel, which puts us at 3 audiobooks now. We're going to switch it for Mistletoe Wishes. Okay, so this is that one Christmassy book that I was talking about. Spin number 9. Okay, so it's not able to land on the band, which means that that is the one that it will have chosen, which is very exciting because that's just a book I've it's not really been a priority for me because it's not extremely related to the first book in the series, so I haven't necessarily had to keep reading it at all costs. But yeah, so the first book is Kings of the Wild and the second book is Bloody Rose, which follows the daughter of one of the old, like, mercenary dudes. If you guys don't know, so Kings of the Wild follows these, like, retired mercenaries who set out on this quest to cross the treacherous wild, which is like essentially known for like killing anyone who goes through it so that they can get to this other realm to save one of their daughters, Rose, Bloody Rose, which is who the second book follows, like I said. There's also a third book in this trilogy, I think, that people have been waiting years for it to come out, and it still hasn't, I think. It's called Outlaw Empire, and it's another set of characters. I don't really remember who the outlaws are, but I'm very excited. The first book was so good, so funny, such vibrant characters. I just had such a good time with that. I read it to my boyfriend and we started reading Bloody Rose and he was just less interested because of the characters that it followed, because he just wasn't as invested in seeing the daughter's story necessarily, but I am interested, so I'm very excited. I'll have to get that one from the library, so I don't have it here with me physically, but again, I'll have the picture right here on the screen. So that will be the next thing that I add to the TBR. That being said, so that puts us at 3 chunky regular books for the TBR, 3 Dragon Slayers Academy, and 3 audiobooks. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spin this wheel just one more time, just for fun, and just kind of see what happens, see what it gives us. So I'm going to switch out the prompt for Dragon Slayers Academy. It's very sad that the enemy didn't show up on the wheel at any point. I'm still obviously going to be trying to read that one if I can, but yeah, Dragon Slayers Academy is going on the wheel again for the millionth time. Without further ado, let's go ahead and do spin number 10. So we got another Dragon Slayers Academy book. So that puts us reading numbers 6, 7, 8, and 9, all by Kate McMullen. So let me go ahead and show you guys the stack. So the word stack, I guess, feels a little silly in this context because I literally only have 2 of the books that came up on me right now. But we also had, again, Dragon Slayers Academy volumes 6, 7, 8, and 9, as well as the Christmas Witch. I feel like I've been calling it the wrong name this whole time, and that really scares me. The Wedding Witch. Okay, same thing, right? Very similar, but it is Christmas themed. So The Wedding Witch, Children of Anguish and Anarchy, and Magnolia Parks A Long Way Home. Plus these ones. So they both, The First to Die at the End and Ruin by John Gwynne. So this will put us finishing 2 series within this month because The Wedding Witch and Children of Anguish and Anarchy both wrap up those trilogies. And then these ones, after I read both of these, I'll still only have 1 book left in the series, and then I'll still have a bunch left of Dragon Slayers Academy, but obviously, like I said, I still am planning to try and finish up the Enemy series as well. So if I can manage to do that, then that will have me finishing 3 series this month, which would be a very very excellent and productive way to wrap up the month. And if I could also read Mistletoe Wishes, obviously that would be another kind of Christmassy thing that would be fun and Christmassy. So yeah, I mean, in terms of like vibes this month, I feel like this is really good. I feel like having just kind of a chill kind of book and then like a high fantasy, I feel like is great. I feel like Christmas time always makes me want to sit and read high fantasy. I don't know why. So I feel like it's nice that we'll have this and then also something to like kind of break it up with as well. And then plus the audiobooks, obviously there's the Christmas vibes with one of them. So anyway, I feel like I'm very happy with the things that this wheel spun for me. I'm actually really excited for The First to Die at the End, just because, I don't know, this is just one that I feel like is very random for me to actually intend to read. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like I never actually decide I'm going to be reading this book. And so it's really nice to have that push to genuinely read this book that I do really expect to enjoy. So yeah, that being said, this is all for my December Wheel of TBR video. Please do let me know what you guys think of this kind of different way of doing it. If you guys like this, if you guys want to see more of this, I might end up doing this again just a couple times. Obviously, I'm not going to like fully transition every single TBR month to this. I might do it just for a couple months to kind of finish some more series, but I also don't want to like go too hardcore on only reading series continuations because I do also want to like enjoy myself, and I don't want to feel like I can't read certain books that I am excited for just because of this. So I probably won't do this extremely often, but I might do it another time or two in the near future. But yeah, I mean, just let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed this, if you thought that it was fun. And yeah, I mean, I do like to like kind of switch things up every now and again to keep things exciting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video. If you enjoyed, then please hit the like button and subscribe if you would like to, and hit the notification bell if you would like to see the other videos that I post once a month, just every Wheel of TBR video. I'm gonna be trying to get them up the Thursday before the month starts, if that makes sense, but it might be a little earlier, a little later, just kind of depending on the way that the days fall and how busy I end up being at the time. My Bookstagram, my Goodreads, and my book talk will all be linked in the description of this video, as well as a link to some of my most recent videos. I will have my haunted house vlog thing up where we traveled 5 hours to go see a haunted house. I will also have my November Wheel of TBR, my Wheel of TBR playlist, things like that will be down there as well. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!